some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence.
Hi guys, this is Fast on Fast on Ghana SM TV. Do like, share, and subscribe. So President John Dramani Mahama engaged with the media on the 10th of September 2025, and this was just last week, Wednesday. In this media engagement, President John Dramani Mahama declared an action against people who are engaged in hateful speech or attacking his person and the people in government. According to President John Dramani Mahama, the National Signal Bureau has been empowered and clothed with all the authority to go after TikTokers and social media commentators who attack his government or his person. Now, some people are not welcoming this particular declaration for President John Dramani Mahama with a smiling eye. But according to them, this is the same thing they did to help President Mahama to come to power. This is the same thing Sammy Gyimie and the likes have been doing. This is the same thing all the people in the NDC who attacked President Akufo-Addo did, and nobody was arrested. We had Sammy Gyimie even calling President Akufo-Addo somebody who has a very problem with his brain. He lacks the mental capacity to run the country. Guys, have a listen.
You have a president who has demonstrated, even in recent time, that he lacks the mental capacity, the mental intelligence to govern.
When you say the president lacks the mental capacity and intelligence to govern, you know what our constitution says? You're a lawyer.
Yeah.
And it talks about this exactly, that if the person who is at the helm of affairs is incapacitated to that level, he would not even rule. So aren't you bordering on a very slippery slope here when you suggest that he lacks the capacity? Because he's there performing his work.
The constitution doesn't say that he will not even rule. It says that he must not be allowed to rule. It is a ground for the removal from office of the president under Article 69.
Are you saying that Akufo-Addo is mentally unfit to be leader?
Exactly.
Samuel Jatta George, on countless occasions, insulted President Akufo-Addo, and he said a lot about him. Guys, have a listen.
Don't you look foolish?
Mr. Chairman, let me plead with you. This committee should not be used to whitewash the image of President Akufo-Addo. We know him, the people of this country passed a verdict, and let's leave it at that. Thank you.
Honorable nominee.
And here we are. People like TWENE JONAS insulted President Akufo-Addo and the appointees of the NPP. What happened to them? Have a listen.
Akufo-Addo nyambeti ube France na wawu. Akufo me so ube France na wawu. Ube France na wawu. Kinofoyata me say
the NDC was so much in support of Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor was brought in this country, was protected by national security, allegedly, and was taken to court and was washed like saying nothing happened to him. And here we are. Here we are. President Mahama is sending a warning to all the people who sit on social media to talk. Now,
The last time the GJA came to me, I mentioned to them that as the world changes and new technologies come, we're moving from not having just the traditional media into having what we call the new media. These are all the new social media instruments like TikTok, like Facebook, like X, and all of them. And so the traditional sense of journalists like you, most of you trained and working in media houses that have a corporate identity and can be held responsible for the information that you put out, is beginning to change. We have a new crop of I'll call them neo journalists, who anybody with a phone and a camera can report news or comments on national issues. Now the point is, who holds those people responsible? And that's what he's saying. If you go to some of the WhatsApp platforms, or you go to some of the commentaries in the TikToks and others, we have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal. Despite the fact that we have removed the criminal libel laws, there are some laws that make such people accountable. Because if we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. There are some of the incendiary statements that have been made in the Boko situation that are fueling some of what is happening there, making people hate each other and see each other as enemies. It's been the same in the Gonja Brefo thing. Some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to be sanctioned under the criminal code.
Now we have Mr. Happiness, who has a very befitting response for...
Now your mama was Jimmy Woody at your Jimmy, sir. KWASIA won't feel what you are, KWASIA Kevin Taylor, woman is coming at because you better him for Unity Ogana. I am full, almost more important thing, KWASIA Penny Mahama. KWASIA cook meeting at the Tuabama, who Jimmy Evans at 20 hours. KWASIA Penny Kevin Taylor, Jimmy, woman is coming, but now, Eki can KWASIA Sem, or no one, then KWASIA we have been in Ghana, no coffee. Now, no man to me, and you know, now. Abrantes you becha wo Mahama onu yiriti KWASIA se me ba be chi omo jam wa Jimmy o me ka kire say Jimmy wa ma Kevin Taylor ko free no o mu nyina mama obi a green light o mu ni watem ko free wa Jimmy ai so dwan no so wa ntimi amfa Kevin Taylor and set recorder e che say won ntimi fo obi an set record nya Jimmy amema me ametu eska me abe attack o me mpe Jimmy emra eni ndisi ni no sa amra ni pet bi ani se emra ni di ndisi ni a ebedi obi a se ni Kevin Taylor eni obi a ho ntimi fa Jimmy na share skit for Jimmy for you know ni chance what KWASIA me ka kire am say mama obi a green light o mu ni matem no na mu ni Ghana ho Kevin Taylor ko free no e di ntina mu di Jimmy akwache MPP for manya Jimmy a ku be si wo Ghana ho me metime PSK me etu mama ban me ka no kura kire ho e di ani Jimmy no mama no me kidnap ni wi a hwan na ewuli o man ya me na me declare me winner e di ani Jimmy no KWASIA fo mu afia mu timi kire obi anka boko fo nta fo mu wai e kum ni pa no patu anwuma matimi ama kire ma kogu police station.
Yes, so good day. Sadio man na dey ba power. Don the money mama TikTok no. I did the party mo. And that person e buy. If I be koso ye ne ne. Ye be ne tira. Ye was say all ye nyina ne say. O ja so be creating platform mu TikTok so di asem. Na mo go buy prison. If I be koso ye. No chance so ye be ko e be ko down. Yes, so good day. Sadio man na dey ba power. Sadio na so dey go position. Ghana photo mama ye Don the money mama say. How much is Ghana? And that dollar I pay so much in now. Yes, so much Ghana for your money. And then one say no family. I don't want them to hear. So many. You buy more than 200 times. Now they also run academia and teaching.
NPP commentators who are saying that nope, Mr. President, you cannot start now. And as we speak, some TikTokers were arrested and arraigned before court. Fanti Comedy was arrested. NPP people are now saying that they are ready to die in court. They are ready to die and rot in prison because they will not stop today. Guys, have a listen. Another thing about
yes, up there. Sani man na deliver power. On the money mama, TikTok no. I did the part no. And that person e buy. If I be kosa ye ne ne. Ye be ne tira. Ye was all ye nyina ne say. O just so be tracing profile mu TikTok to di asem. Na mo go buy prison. If I be kosa ye. No chance or ye be ko e be ko down. Yes, up there. Sani man na deliver power. Sani na so na go position. Ghana photo am ye on the money mama say. How much is Ghana? And that dollar I pay you so much in now. Yes, so much Ghana for your money. And you might say no family. I don't want them here. So many, you pay more than 200 times.
Now we just have one Acadian and Tiachin. But you are going to question. I took one off. I said, I'm not in a pool. I have brought your pool.
Chairman, I'm not catching your wire. Black Maria, is that criminal? Is that criminal? One day we will put more people in jail. What is supposed to be? Is that criminal? Is that criminal? Misdemeanor case. Misdemeanor. Let me say something. Misdemeanor case. Let me say something. Is that how to behave? Is that how to behave? You see, there is misdemeanor. This is the nonsense we are seeing in this country. There is a clear calculation. Misdemeanor. That's why we drop. We drop. By this government. By this government, a crime in this country. When to tell people in this country, but it will never happen. When did Esau become a crime in this country? Yes. When? It will never happen. Somebody should tell us. They want to guard people under this democratic era. That will never happen. Somebody like this because of misdemeanor.